Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, as you can see from the title down below, I've got the full range of the new collection Power products. So we've got a grippy primer, an eye primer, a brow gel, and 4 glittery liquid liners. And if you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie and I am obsessed with glittery liners. So of course I got all 4. I went into Superdrug yesterday and they were just sitting there on the stand. I was like, you're coming home with me, and I got all 4. So I'm going to be swatching these and creating some sort of glittery eye look. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I don't know what sort of look I'm going to do, but come along for the ride. And I do just want to start out by saying I've never tried a grippy primer like this. I don't know what to expect. I have the e.l.f. one, and as you can see, it's still in the box. I've never tried it. I picked it up a while ago and I just haven't had the chance to try it yet. So what I want to do, and I would love to hear if this is something that you want to see as well, I will be doing it, but I want to hear anyway, is one half of my face with the collection one half of my face with the e.l.f. one, and doing like a full day wear test, see which one holds up best by the end of the day, because I don't actually have time to do a full day wear test of the collection one, but I'm interested to see how these compare to one another. They should be quite similar, but I want to actually test it side by side, so let me know if that's something that you want to see. But I'm going to start with the primer, and I do actually have an almost full face of collection products here. I am just going to sort of ramble through the other things. Just going to focus on the new stuff today, but I'm going to start with the primer. It says on the back, which I really like the sound of, super sticky, super strong makeup gripping primer, cooling gel texture, interesting, with hyaluronic acid, hydrates and preps skin, then holds your makeup in place all day. So I love that it's got the hyaluronic acid in there. I have such dry skin, I need all the help I can get, so very, very happy that it's got that in there. I'm also interested to see if this has any sort of scent. Okay, so it is ever so slightly tinted, that sort of a bluey, greeny, minty colour. It doesn't seem to have any sort of glitter or shimmer in it. Doesn't really have a scent, just sort of smells like the ingredients that are in there. It's very thick, it's not sort of running down my hand. Very sticky. I mean, I know that's literally its purpose, but very, very sticky. And I've probably gotten too much there. Gosh, that's so sticky. Okay. Oh, it is cooling. Oh my gosh, that's so strange. That does feel like I'm putting ice on my skin. Interesting. Okay, so you do sort of have to work it in quite quickly. I'm struggling to spread this around the rest of my face now. Okay, so now that that has set down, I don't feel like it's as sticky anymore. It feels really nice and smooth, but not as grippy as it was at first. At first my hands were properly pulling away, but I almost feel like it's sort of tightening, as if I've put, when you used to put PVA glue on your hands and then when it would dry it would sort of feel quite tight. It almost feels a bit like that, so I feel like it's almost smoothing, wrinkles, and I have skin on my face and I feel like it's tightening it. That's really strange. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. So like I say, I'm just gonna whiz over the rest of the products. I'm going in with the Collection Hydra Serum Foundation, which I have in the shade 5, the Lasting Perfection Concealer, which I have in the shade 4, and then I'll come back because the other products are newish and you might want to see those. Okay, so I've also put my brows on. I don't have a collection brow pencil, so I've just used the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in Neutral Brown. And before I move on to the rest of the face, I will go in with the brow gel. So this is the Power Hold Freezing Brow Glue. Generally speaking, I don't enjoy a clear brow gel like this. I have very little colour in my brows naturally, so I need, generally speaking, I need like a tinted brow gel to actually coat the brow hairs to give them a bit of colour, which then adds like the depth and the detail into my brows. I prefer a product like that. So I'm going to use this one at this stage because obviously this is clear. I'm going to use it at this stage and then see how I feel at the end. I might go in with like a tinted one, a little tinted one over the top, but I will see how this goes. I don't normally need a lot of hold either. My brows are quite well behaved, so I don't need a lot of hold, but I'll see how this goes. It's got a really strange sort of wand. It's small lengthways, but I feel like it's quite wide, like the actual bristles are quite long, which I suppose could be helpful in a way because it will like drag the product through the bristles, like actually in your brows, but let's see how this goes. I don't like a product that feels too thick in my brows, like thick as in like you can see the gel that's supposed to be clear. Like I don't like the NYX one because I just feel like you can always see the white bits, but let's see. I'm really gonna like exaggerate the direction of the brows. Let's see if I can make these, oh, I've got it all in my hair now. Let's see if I can make these lay exactly where I want them to. I mean, you won't be able to see anything, it's a clear brow gel. I mean, apart from the massive lump of it that I've got in my hair, how do I manage these things? Honestly, how do I manage to make it out the house most days? I mean, I don't, but different story. I also feel like this is very, very quickly going to turn into like a murky brown coloured gel where I'm brushing it through my brows that I've obviously already got pencil on and then putting the wand back into the tube. Like, it's gonna get dirty quite quickly. Okay, so I can definitely feel the product on my brows, like as I'm moving my face. I feel like I can definitely feel that. It does feel quite solid is maybe the word. I don't really like how they look, but I am not really the target market for this. I need something tinted, so I will go in with something tinted at the end, but I'll wait for these to like fully dry down. I do feel like I've seen people like applying it and then pressing it in, but I like them to still look quite sort of bushy, so I will leave it at that. I do feel like on this side as well, I definitely still had too much product on the brush and it's looking a little bit gluey looking, but I'll wait, I'll see how they will dry down. So then I have 3 of the wands. I have the new contour wand. I already have full reviews of these up on my channel. I will link them up above. But I have the bronzer contour wand in light. I have the new shade of the blush wand, which is Berry Glow. And then as I was going through my drawers, I was like, I don't think I've got a highlight from Collection. I absolutely do. I don't remember buying this. I don't remember testing it. It's like very thin, so I've obviously used it a number of times, but I don't remember, so I'm going to be using these today. And I do prefer these ones over the e.l.f. ones. If you watched that other video that I linked a minute ago, I do prefer these. I test them side by side, and I do prefer the Collection ones over the e.l.f. ones. I just feel like the e.l.f. ones, I don't like the teeny tiny little sponges on the end of them, and I feel like I get more colour out of the collection ones, so I do prefer these ones. And I love that they finally brought out a bronzer shade, even though they're calling it contour, but like, it's definitely a bronzer on me. And then I'm just taking the blush wand in Berry Glow and tapping a little bit of this, a little bit more than that, just a little bit onto my cheeks and also a little bit across my nose. And like, just look at that colour. Like, this is why the collection ones are my favourite. I don't feel like I get this level of colour with the e.l.f. ones. I just love them. I just love them. And even just with that blush, I feel like I'm getting such a great level of glow. I am going to go in with a little bit of the highlighter though, because I've got it. I didn't realise I had it, but I've got it, so I'm going to just use a little bit. And I don't actually know what brush I'm going to use. I might just use my blush brush to blend this out. I'm just adding a little bit. Yes, let's just amp up the glow a little bit more. Because ultimately, is it even me if you can't see me glowing from outer space? I don't know why I don't use that highlight more often. That's beautiful. Why had I just completely forgotten that I even had that in my drawer? I don't know. I cannot explain that one. But I love it. So, what now? Are we just onto the eyeliners now? Oh, I had eye primer. So yes, it comes with an eye primer, but I wouldn't necessarily use an eye primer if I was just going to go in with something like a glitter. So do I save this for another day? Do I just apply a bit anyway, because why the hell not? Yeah. Let's see if this will actually come out like this colour. So it's just got like a regular little applicator, like a concealer. Oh, and it is fairly sort of see-through. Oh, it feels very thin. I mean, you're not going to be able to see anything because it's very thin feeling. But I will just tap a little bit of this over my eyes so that you can see how sort of see-through it is. So this is the eye with a little bit of primer on, and this is the eye without. It is ever so slightly brightening, but I don't feel like it's this, like, it's not very opaque. Like, you will just be able to see your skin tone through it. I do just feel like it will sort of brighten whatever skin tone you have. I do feel like it would work. I'm not really getting a whole lot of grippiness from it, but like I say, I don't think I'm going to be doing any sort of eyeshadow today, so today is not the best test for it. It feels nice. I'm not mad at it. It's just, again, not as grippy as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I am just going to swatch all of these. I will open one up actually and show you what the wand looks like. I'll show you the pink one, which is number 2, I Am Strong, and I hope that if I hold that up like that you'll be able to see. It's quite a chunky glitter. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be as chunky as that. I love it, but I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting it to be more of a fine glitter. I don't know why. I don't know what I was basing that off, but it is quite chunky. And then it's a brush tip, which if you've seen any of my videos, you will know that is my favourite. I do feel, however, it's quite a large brush. It's quite a large sort of surface area, so you're not really going to be able to get the sort of very fine detail work that I generally like to use a brush liner for. You're gonna get quite a large line, which is of course good if you're wanting to do more of a just all over the lid, sort of a wash of colour. But if you're wanting to do something more detailed, I don't think that that brush is necessarily what I would go for. I mean, who doesn't have a tiny little liner brush if that's the sort of look that you like to do? You can just get tiny little liner brushes to do that very fine detail work. But, you know, I suppose we've all got a brush like that, so it's quite handy that that has a large applicator if you just wanted to do something quite glittery all over the lid. So I will go off and swatch all of these and then we'll see how they look, and then I'll decide what I want to do on the eyes, because I still have no idea what I want to do. Okay, so that is what all of those glitter liners look like. I was a little bit worried when I first saw these in the shop that the first shade and the third shade were going to be very similar, because they're both sort of, they look both like a white silver sort of an eyeliner, but they're actually very different. So we've got shade number 1, which is I Got This, which is an iridescent, almost leaning, like when it catches the light it goes a little bit greeny and bluey. Really, really pretty, but it's got more of a clear base, so you could definitely apply that over the top of any sort of an eye look to add something really chunky, glittery and beautiful. Then we've got number 2, I Am Strong, which is a hot pink, sort of purpley, very deep berry shade. I think that that shade will go absolutely beautifully on blue eyes, just right next to the lash line, something very sparkly, very pink, very beautiful. I love the like depth of colour in that one. Then number 3 is Ready for Anything, which is just a straight up silver. There's nothing like that's any sort of colour about this. It is just a white silver, and when it catches the light it's so impressive. And then number 4, Power Pose, which I wasn't sure I was gonna like just in the bottle, but because that has that like bronzy base, where the other ones, and I really hope you can tell, where the other ones are almost like they're on a clear base, Power Pose has that bronzy base to it, and then it's got the gold glitters in it, so when it catches, when it's not catching the light rather, it's just like a gold liner, and then it catches the light and it's got almost like an iridescent-y sort of a glitter in it. I feel like Power Pose is very similar to the e.l.f. liquid glitter in Flirty Birdie, which if you don't know, that is one of my favourite products of all time. I wore it on my wedding day, it's absolutely beautiful, but I think that that's even slightly better because it's got like an iridescence to it, where Flirty Birdie is that sort of bronzy nudie coloured base with silver and gold glitters. This has silver and gold glitters, but it also has iridescent glitters, which I love. So I think I'm going to go off and just do a little something through the crease, just a brown sort of smoky eye, and then I think I'm going to try and blend that out like right over my lid and see how that will work. I will be testing all of the others. I will be trying those on at some point. If there's any sort of specific look that you want to see, testing them out in a certain way, do let me know. More than happy to do that, but I think I'm going to use that number 4 shade, Power Pose, today, because honestly that is the one that's like speaking to me the most. So I've just zoomed you in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing on the eyes, and I'm just going in with a little bit of the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadow palette in Pumpkin Pie. I'm just going to use the 2 matte shades that are in here, this one and this one, just to do a little bit of a sort of warm brown smoky eye, but nothing too deep and nothing too like dramatic. I want this glitter to be the star of the show. I might go in with a wing, but I might not. See how I feel. Okay, so I feel like those eyeshadows are blended over the top of that primer really nicely. Absolutely no complaints there. Let's just go on to the glitter, because I am so excited. This shade looks incredible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to take the product off this brush onto this brush so that I can like really disperse the glitters across my lid, and then if I need to I can build it up. I can like, I just feel like I can control it a little bit more and I won't get too much in one go. So I've got a bit of the liquid glitter on this brush and I'm just going to tap it across my lid. Yes, those iridescent glitters. I mean, obviously that's quite subtle. It is just, I mean, subtle for me. It is just a very light wash of glitter. I am going to build it up, fear not. But I love that. It's really catching the light so beautifully, and I feel like it's worth noting at this stage, I love a liquid glitter like this because you don't get any fallout. You don't need to worry about ending up with little specks of glitter all over your face. This will stay where you put it. Okay, so that is one wash of colour over both eyes. I absolutely love that colour. I love the way that it's like catching the light, and it's quite a, where it's quite a chunky glitter, I do feel like it's, you know, dispersing really nicely. So I'm going to go in with a second layer onto this eye now that it's dried down, and we'll see how this layers up. We'll see how intense we can make this glitter. So I've got a little bit more on there, and I'm going to keep this like closer onto the lid, pack it on a little bit more rather than blending it out and like blending the glitter away. Oh, I feel like with that second layer, that iridescent quality is really coming through. That looks spectacular. Oh my goodness. So 2 layers of the liquid glitter versus 1 layer. I really hope that that's showing up on camera as incredible as it is in real life. That is so pretty, but I do still feel like it's still quite, I don't mean subtle in a bad way, I mean subtle in the best way possible, where I feel like the way that it's catching the light doesn't look clowny, doesn't look like cheap makeup. I feel like that looks so expensive. I feel like that looks so beautiful with the second layer. I mean, with the first layer, it's subtle. It's a sparse sort of spatter of glitter. But that second layer is where it's at for me. I love that. I think I'm going to do a wing. I will go in with the Beauty Bay liquid eyeliner, just the black one, and then I'll find a mascara. Probably just the Beauty Bay one as well. So I did use the Beauty Bay High Key mascara because firstly I love this mascara and I feel like with this amount of glam I needed big bad lashes, and that mascara gives me that. So this is the finished eye look. I absolutely love it. I feel like this is very sort of Christmassy party sort of a look. For me, it's so much glitter, but honestly I absolutely love this level of glitter. I think that this looks incredible. I absolutely love that glittery eyeshadow. It's just catching the light in every single colour, but it still feels fairly neutral. Like, it doesn't feel like a colourful eye look, but when it catches the light it's a little bit green, a little bit blue, a little bit pink. I absolutely love it. So let me zoom you out, I can do something on the lips and then we're done. So I do have a collection lipstick, but it's a bright red and I don't feel like that's the vibe I'm going for today. So I'm just going to go in with the Relove Superfill Lip Liner in what shade are you? Sweet. I'll overline, I'll do a little bit of the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oil, and then we'll be done. So that is the finished look. I will just, while we're here and, you know, for review purposes, I will just take a cotton pad with some micellar water on it and see how easy it is to take these swatches off the back of my hand, because obviously I am a little worried with how these are going to sort of remove. I don't want to like scratch my eyeball off, so let's see how these go. Okay, that hasn't like completely removed, just with like the one swipe, of course, but I do feel like that's removing in sort of big enough chunks and like wiping away on the cotton pad nicely, where I don't feel like I would worry about that scratching my eye. So that was just like a couple of swipes with the cotton pad, and that has completely gone. There's no glitter left on there now. It's all like sticking to the cotton pad really nicely. I've got it all like on my hands now, but I will report back how this actually removes off my eyes at the end of the day. But I do feel like sort of a cotton pad pressed on lightly and then wiped in like one motion, rather than like scrubbing with like a cleansing balm or something, I feel like that would be the way to go. But I will leave it down below how I get on with removing this at the end of the day. But like I say, don't actually have time to do a wear test today, so I will leave all of that down below as well. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really does help me out a ton. It also helps me out a ton if you leave a lovely little comment down below. So I'd love to know which of these liquid liners has caught your eye the most. I am honestly obsessed with this one, but so excited to try the other ones as well. If there's any other new releases that you'd like to see tested here, also let me know down below. More than happy to try and get my hands on some more of the new releases, because there's just so many coming out at the minute. I'm absolutely thrilled. If you are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe down below. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.